Way to go.
All right, well, good afternoon, Chairman He, work Purple Corporation Consulting. My name's Connor, and this is my colleague.
I'm Caleb.
And today, by the end of the day, we want to seal a deal with you and hopefully can give you some insight on what we're talking about. So as far as a little bit of background about us and our experience with working with Fortune 500 companies, we've worked with companies like Chevron, Kroger, General Motors, and Amazon. When we went in and worked with them, we showed them new techniques on working with conflict resolution and stress relief, and a personal goal as a company that we highlight is artistic expression, and we want to pass that on to your company. So a little bit about what we can bring to the table for you. For conflict resolution, we have 5 steps. The first step we think is very important, and it's acknowledging that the conflict exists. The second step is going to be figuring out what the difference is between those conflicts and making that conflict a tangible physical thing. And then it's going to be to obtain clarification of both sides of the argument, and then reduce defensiveness and take the emotion out of the defensiveness. By taking the emotion just doesn't really have a place in the workplace, is what we believe. And then finally, we're going to explore options to come up with a solution that's long-term. So why this is important, there's going to be less distractions in the workplace. There's going to be communication skill improvement between team members. Your team is actually going to operate more like a team, and at the end of the day, it's going to mean better for your company, and you're going to have more success in your industry.
Okay, so the first step in reducing stress is making sure that others don't feel like they're being attacked. Whenever we speak to people, we need to make sure. Okay, some people become emotional and lash out at coworkers whenever they feel like they're being attacked. They will often, they'll curse, they'll yell, they'll act in ways that we don't like, and we have to make sure when we're preparing for a stressful conversation, we don't let those things get to us, because we have vulnerabilities too. Everybody has vulnerabilities and things that set them off. Make sure not to use those things on other people, because it's just going to make the situation much worse. Manage the conversation by first off respecting the other person's opinion, still while having a different opinion. You know, you can't attack them personally for their opinion. You have to make sure to bring it back to the beginning. Make sure they realize that it's not really about their opinion, it's about figuring the whole thing out as a whole. Also, fight tactics, not people. Make sure not to fight who they are, what they're saying. Fight the way that they speak, their conversation tactics. Artistic expression is something that we feel is important to helping people in an organization communicate with each other. Participation leads to unity among staff. Whenever people have art outside their offices, things like that, they get an opportunity to share their creative stuff in ways that they can't throughout their work in a normal way. It sparks conversation, and people want to share their opinions, and they want to listen to other people's opinions because it matters to them. It creates an open workplace and encourages outside-of-the-box ideas, because when people feel like they can share their opinions of their personal things, then they're more likely to speak up whenever new ideas are being thrown out. Thank you for your time, Chairman.
So a couple of questions. Are you then going to be providing us with art to put up on our walls? And what is it more specifically about the art? Because I don't remember them talking about using art as a way to lower stressful conversations. Can you help me with that, please?
Yes. So basically, whenever people have the opportunity to put their own art out, it's a way of expression that is other than words. So it gives people a way to show who they are, show what they think of things, how they feel about certain subjects and stuff like that, without being so out there about it. You know, it's a little bit more subtle, and people can start a conversation as they please. People can be like, oh well, I like this picture, I like this thing, this idea, this whatever, and it sparks conversation up. You know, people feel safe that they can share their opinions.
Okay. Another question I have is I appreciate you helping me understand this idea. And when I read it, one of my first thoughts was this is a very American and Western approach. How do you think that relates to our Eastern culture, or even a culture like in Brazil, which is another place where we work?
Just as far as the research that we've done on your culture and then versing it against American culture, you guys obviously have some pretty traditional culture that goes way back. And for employees to be able to express themselves on that basis and hold on to that type of heritage and stuff at the workplace, it can just make the workplace a more fun, relaxed environment to come to work and be more productive during the day.
Okay, I'm going to throw you guys a bit of a fastball. The leader of the Communist Party and I have a secret meeting with President Trump tomorrow to talk about his outrageous tariffs, which we're absolutely furious about, and he's going to even add more. Do you have any suggestions as to how we can take what you're showing us here and bring this into the meetings? Because we're really frustrated and angry with the man.
Well, I would say Trump is probably the kind of guy that you want to try to please and not make him mad during a meeting. So if you can come up with a kind gesture, maybe an American cultural thing to please him and calm him down, it might look better for you guys, and hopefully those tariffs will work out, because like everything in life, it's a temporary thing.
Every president is temporary, huh?